Yo, what's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. The new Thunder Dragon deck. This is well, pretty much an upgraded version of my previous video, I believe last week. But mainly, and the card I'm focusing on here today is NECRO FUSION. It's a new trap card from Soul Fusion, the new set that has been released this weekend in the OCG. Same for the Thunder Dragons, by the way. This list 40 cards. I've based myself on an OCG list I've seen on Facebook, popping up on Facebook. First place there, main decking, and that's what I got from the list. Main decking the triple anti-spell fragrance. It wasn't obviously it wasn't running the new NECRO Fusion, but it's a card, you know, I would just wanted to play test. But I definitely like it. A couple of changes I'm going to make. Maybe Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, maybe 1-for-1 are definitely options, but the addition of the new Batteryman is definitely something I like. I was testing it before, but again, it's super popular in Thunder Dragons. I mean, pretty much an Armageddonite for Thunder Dragons, and can get you a token, and can make you the new Link 2 monster. What is it called? The Summer Holiday or Summer Vacation? You know the Link Summer Holiday. You know the new Link 2 monster for pretty much for Thunder Dragons, right? As for the rest, pretty self-explanatory main deck, I think, with, you know, triple Allure, triple Gold Sark, both fusions at 3, since both of them are the big boss monsters. I was running Instant Fusion, the main deck, for the Thunder Fusion, which is basically just extra fodder for going for, you know, your Super Bolt, your Thunder King 2.0 here in the extra deck. As for the rest, you want to run other boss monsters, Chaos boss monsters, next to the regular Chaos Thunder Dragon, which is searchable off of your Dark Bolt. But cards like maybe Levionia or definitely BLS are cards that you need them. You know, just extra power for the deck, and banishing those light and darks from your graveyard to get extra searches or extra special summons. But the new NECRO Fusion can definitely have a place in this deck. It's somewhat of a late polarization, but the fact that it's a trap card is a downside. It's not that fast, but then that's the positive side, is that you can use it during your opponent's turn to interrupt any search play. And, you know, by going for the Super Bolt, your Thunder King 2.0, by just banishing 2 Thunder types, 1 Thunder Dragon from your graveyard, and then, well, interrupt any search from your opponent. Against Sky Strikers, that can be super deadly, especially if your opponent had the interruption during your first turn, right? So, okay, let's see a couple of example duels. Okay, first example, against the Burning Abyss, I guess. So, opening the duel, indeed, going first, you're playing pretty much a very strong anti-meta deck, still the first weekend for Thunder Dragons, and what I think I've seen from the OCG format, even though with their most recent and new OCG ban list, Sky Strikers are very much the biggest and strongest deck still in the OCG. So, Thunder Dragons definitely have a good matchup against Sky Strikers. They have built-in protection, and of course, their big floodgates are very easy, first of all, to get on the field and prevent searching. So again, Sky Striker deck is heavily based on searching. Anyway, this is definitely good. I mean, if you can end your opening turn with like the Link, or especially with your Thunder Lord, the most, at least your biggest fusion, that's definitely a strong opening turn. I mean, as soon, and if it's during your opponent's turn, you discard, for example, your level 1 Thunder Dragon from your hand, you can pop any card from your opponent. So again, possibly interrupting an opponent's play during his turn and slowly chipping away his cards, right, with the big Thunderlord. So going for a second copy to get, at least try to get rid of the board, at least force out the Borreload Dragon. So the Aeon, or however you want to pronounce it, is forced, at least can attack through, can attack over Borreload, and get a search eventually. So using the Summer Link monster during my opponent's turn too, and that's good. I mean, just discard, I believe any card can be a dead card, it doesn't really matter, to reborn a Thunder Dragon. That's good, since again the Thunder Dragons also have a well, not pretty much an on-field effect, but you know, when they are sent from the field to the graveyard, you can get their respective effect, like search or special summon. So going for the third big lord, I guess, but this is not yet game. But again, having the Borreload set to put the monster from the opponent in defense position, his Borreload Dragon is already gone, and having both the Super Bolt and Thunder Lord on the field is again a super solid field. As you saw, Instant Fusion was still in the deck, but eventually I dropped it. I guess it's a fine deck to special summon the Thunder Fusion, which can potentially upgrade itself into another super yeah, indeed, the Dark Thunder Dragon from your extra deck, but not really sure about that. So immediately anti-spell, again, and as I mentioned before, if you're looking at the OCG format, Sky Strikers is currently the biggest, like far beyond the other competition. Anti-spell is definitely a good option, maybe some Pendulum decks, right, and other spell-based decks, so anti-spell going first, superb card. Same for the new Battery Man. I mean, you don't really have to run other Battery Mans. I mean, it's just pretty much an Armageddonite for your Thunder Dragons immediately, and preferably, depending on the situation, most of the time just sending the Dark Thunder Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, which, you know, can be banished or can be reborn from your graveyard with the other Thunder Dragons and, well, eventually get a search. And, I mean, you can, first of all, get advantage, again, grinding against your opponents, and, of course, getting big boss monsters against your opponent. And on top of that, these boss monsters have a super strong floodgate effect. Try to negate the engage here with the Ash Blossom, but sadly the Called by the Grave is going to negate that. Aeon, yeah, is put in defense position due to the Boral Sword Dragon, so that was a bit of a bummer. Not really sure if I was able to play around it, maybe with the token that might have been an option, or did I use a token for Boral Sword? Well, anyway, so he does have the link, not really sure. Yeah, I have a small attack drop, but again, having another Thunder Dragon, setting up the Dark one, and, you know, eventually reborning the Eon again, going for another copy of the Dragon Lord, and eventually luring it out again, picking away the back row, which is locked under the anti-spell. I believe Impermanence was destroyed, yep, and the Thunder Lord's effect, it doesn't target, so your opponent is forced to already use the card before you can target the actual card, right? Or at least it targets upon resolution. So again, that's something to keep in mind. Same with Trishula, for example, so that's definitely good. Going first against new Gravekeepers, this is a card with a Mice build, very different to my build, and I might prefer this kind of build, right, without polymerization and the Black Sheep. I mean, cards with Mice is definitely good. For the most obvious reasons, right? Just draw into your back row, and the new Search card also has that extra double summon effect to potentially get those extra monsters on the field, since otherwise you would just discard them with your card of the Mice, right? But again, if you're able to make the first turn Thunder Lord your big fusion, you can just, again, chip away, pick away a couple of cards, well, one card during your opponent's turn, and of course during your own turn as well. But going second against Gravekeepers, and if you're playing a super heavily reliant graveyard deck, if your opponent has Necro Valley, it's pretty much game over, especially because I'm not maining any spell and trap destruction, so something like Twin Twister might definitely be an option. I mean, immediately getting those Dark Thunder Dragons, for example, from your hand to the graveyard, thanks to something like Twin Twister, can definitely be good. So Spell and Trap Destruction might be an extra addition to the deck. Then again, if you look at today's format, especially for the OCG, not really sure if you would really main deck the Twin Twisters, right? Another example is still Gravekeepers. Last example, again, a very good start. I mean, if you're opening with the Thunder Battery, yeah, it can definitely set up so many plays. I believe sacrificing the special summon effect of your Link monster is okay at a small, well, I can't really call it a cost, but having the Thunder Dragon indeed on my side of the field, and the Lord, I mean, that's again so strong. Both have a built-in destruction effect, or these cannot be destroyed, right, by banishing cards from the graveyard. And with your Thunder Dragon Lord, your big fusion, you can also pop stuff. So again, that's super strong against some older decks, or, you know, decks that need established, at least they need to establish like a Pendulum Scale or establish their board to set up. Right, so, okay, Gravekeeper Spy still far too slow for the format. I get it's cool or cute with, you know, the new Debris Dragon for Gravekeepers, but it's just far too slow. Last example against Pendulums, going first this time again. Again, a very good opening hand. Having the Thunder Battery Man can set up so many plays if you can follow it up with something like a Chaos Summon or the Summer Vacation. There it is again, having the same setup pretty much, and backed up with a couple of hand traps or interruption like Impermanence, Ash Blossom, Effect Failure, a Ghost Ogre, man, that's just so good. I think I still have 2 interruptions, yep, with the Impermanence set and the Thunder Lord here on my side of the field, with indeed a potential discard for Thunder Dragons to lure its destruction effect. Yep, indeed, destroy the Electromite with the Thunder Lord, and Impermanence will get rid of Ignister eventually. So now, eventually during my next turn, I can just attack for a game. So Thunder Dragons, still first weekend here in the OCG. I probably will do like an updated OCG metagame breakdown very soon, but still first weekend. But as you might have seen, Sky Strikers, even though they got hit with the most recent OCG ban list, are still the best and far beyond the competition. The best deck, and Thunder Dragons are definitely a good matchup against Sky Strikers. Okay, so again, all feedback is definitely appreciated. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.